to be live streaming on all the platforms. Okay, here we go. We are coming into it. We're coming into it. Wilson, how are you, my love? Infinite gratitude. I need some music with that. I gotta put some music to that. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Welcome in, beautiful souls from wherever you are. Greetings to my YT family, greetings to my F-Book family, and my FB family, F-Book. My FB family. I'm streaming on multiple platforms, so TikTok can be a little sensitive sometimes, so we want to make sure we're using playing around with the words. And welcome into my TikTok family, of course, the center of my heart. Welcome to All Things Mastery, or should I start saying All Things Shift, to where we teach you exactly what you need to shift your identity, to shift your money, to shift your relationship, to shifting your self-esteem, whatever it is that you want in life. Shifting your identity is at the center of that. And although we're not particularly speaking about shifting, we are speaking more so on Archon spirits. I know many of you will better understand what I'm talking about. However, what I can tell you right now before we get into it is that Archon spirits have been in control for quite some time. Control of what, Venus? Our minds, our mentals, our behaviors, which has a lot to do with our identity. So this class, we're going to be talking about the possession of the Archon spirits. And I'm going to get into that. But first, let me know where you're chiming in from. Let me know where you're chiming in from. If this is your first time here, Dina, how are you, beautiful? Thank you. Infinite gratitude. Infinite gratitude. If this is your first time here, if you're new to the live, make sure you put I'm new here so we can properly greet you. Dina is here from Florida. Welcome, my love. Infinite gratitude for sharing your positive energy with us and for joining us. Jazzy Jazz is here. Infinite gratitude. Thank you so much for sharing the live out, right? So we're going to be talking about why you all are commenting. Welcome all new souls. We're going to be talking about Archon spirits, okay? Now, I know a lot of things that I'm going to say is going to trigger a lot of your cognitive dissonance, which, as I stated earlier, that's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing whenever you're triggered, whenever you find yourself inside of like this mental crossroad to where you already know what you believe, you know what you know, and then there's this new thing that you're being introduced to. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. However, we're going to get into it anyway because it's important for you to know. Because how many of us, put a 1 in the comment section if you aspire to be someone, if you aspire to do something, have navigation through the triggers. Yes, Ashe, I love that, Dina, right? So if you aspire, if you have any goal that you want to meet, if you want more money, more consistent money, if you want to start a business or scale a business, not just scale or start, but a profitable business. I see the ones, Jazz, Dina, Big Chef, Tamika, I see the one. Somebody put a 1 in the comment section for me, because there's plenty of things that I still want to do. There's a lot of things that I've accomplished, but that's not it. That's not where it stops. And for many of you, y'all have these dreams and goals and aspirations. And for many of us, they're not coming to fruition. So the more information we know, I've come to know, not just believe, that it will allow us to elevate to higher states of consciousness. And when you do that, you can begin not only mastering yourself, your mind, your physical, your body, your consciousness. You can master your reality. You can become the co-creator that you are. Okay? So how many of you know you don't have to suffer to acquire anything? You don't have to sacrifice as much as you think to acquire anything. Life doesn't always have to be about hustle. Life doesn't have to always be about struggle. Life doesn't have to always be about you bending your confidence, you bending your will, you bending your security to appease other people, places, and things. And when you don't embody mastery, guess what? You make yourself subjected to the living out the will of other people, places, and things, especially entities. Hence, we're going to flow right into it. So the purpose of us talking about having this masterclass today about the Archon spirits, it is to expose the Archon forces, whether seen, whether they're whether they are entities, spirits, the archetypes of control that has infiltrated religion. It has infiltrated language, right? Our linguistics, our dialogue, all to distort our image, all to distort, guess what? Our identity, right? And externalize our power and keep us looping in limitation. Because how many of you know, if you're not accelerating your goals, if your goals are coming in, if your goals are not manifesting and materializing, that means that there's something that's holding us back, right? We all agree. We all agree with that. Put a 1 in the comment section if you agree that if you're not manifesting or living the life that you want, that it means that something is holding you back, and or someone is holding you back, right? I see. Infinite gratitude for the heartbeat. Make sure you grabbing your daily heartbeats as we continue, right? So the purpose is to expose these forces, because you cannot fight what you cannot see, and you cannot shift what you do not accept. Right. So a lot of times in these teachings, because we're so programmed to think the way we think and move the way we move, we kind of reject any type of information that our ego repels. And since our ego is rooted in all of these false doctrines and programs, it becomes harder for us to adopt new programs. What are these programs I'm talking about? The programs that says that you are limitless, not limited. The programs that says you are empowered, not disempowered. The programs that say that in order for you to thrive and live life and live it more abundantly, you have to seek an external power source in order for you to thrive and succeed. Absolutely incorrect. And we're going to be exposing that. So we're about to step into the deeper understandings of these hidden archetypes of control. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to be controlled by no one or no thing. Okay? Been there, done that. I was once controlled by religion, like many of us. I was once controlled by the government systems, like many of us. I was once controlled. Vince, infinite gratitude for the support follow. I was once controlled. Cassandra, how are you, beautiful soul? Blissful rise. I was once controlled by politics and all of these different things. Steve, how are you, my love? And it came a time where I said, you know what? Who am I? If we're so powerful as we say, if we are the gods and goddesses and all of these other beautiful characteristics of titles that we say we are, how come many of us are so disempowered? How come many of us are constantly crying out? How come many of us are suffering far too much and far too long? How come many of us are not experiencing life and more abundantly? Not an abundance of toxicity, not an abundance of illnesses and diseases, but an abundance of good health, good vitality, mobility, a sane mind, right? Now, these are the questions that we should ask ourselves. Sway, what's good, Battle? How you doing, my love? Infinite gratitude, love you and miss you, Battle. That is my military battle over there that's chiming in from Facebook. I love you and love your family. I hope all of you are doing absolutely phenomenal, right? Cassandra, Ashe, right? So that begs us to ask questions, right? And so the more I get into this lesson, the more you're going to be like, you know what? Let me start learning more about this, because if you want to take control of your life, if you don't want to suffer anymore, if you don't want to continually live in poverty, if you don't want to be health stricken, if you do not want to remain under someone else's control and dictatorship, no matter what's going on, that requires you to shift more than your identity. It requires you to shift your understanding. It requires you to do things a little bit different so you can get different results. Okay, that's the problem, not believing we are worthy of it, right? And I dare to say, a lot of times, Steve, we think that we deserve something or we don't deserve. We think that other people deserve or don't deserve. And I challenge you to open up the borders of your perception, right? Instead of deserving, how about what you earn? A lot of us want these things, but we're not earning it. We're not doing what's required. We're doing the bare minimum. Okay? So when you kind of shift your perspective, right? Because how many of us know that there are plenty of people who seemingly are undeserving of the money they have, seemingly are undeserving of the wealth, seemingly are undeserving of all of the beautiful things that happen in their life? That lets you know that it doesn't have as much to do with what you deserve, if you're worthy or not. It has everything to do with what? Your identity. It has everything to do with you understanding who you are. And in order for you to remember who you are, you got to wake up from the program. You got to unplug, because every time you reject truth, every time you reject knowledge, you are self-destructing. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, where you are. It doesn't matter the status that you have. It doesn't matter your accolades. We are all governed under the same infinite intelligence and consciousness. We are all a part of that infinite oneness. And guess what? It isn't ruled by religion. It isn't ruled and governed by no one or nothing else outside of itself. Ashe? So so when we talk about the hidden architects of control, I want us to dig a little bit deeper, because a lot of us think that the government is the only force that is seeking to control and has done a horrific job doing it. A lot of us think that all of the other government systems are in control. A lot of us tend to think that you know what, this camera is gonna it keeps moving everywhere but where I want it to go. A lot of us think that there are other people, places, and things that are seemingly in control, but I beg for us to go just a little bit deeper. Okay? So if those of us who are claiming that there is the devil and that there are other spirit entities, why do you think it's so hard for us to actually conceptualize that there are actual parasitic entities that is what? Controlling our minds. Okay? Now remember, the only people who can be controlled or unjustly manipulated, I say this with all respect, are weak-minded and weak-willed people. The only people that can have hexes, that hexes can be placed over their lives, that their energy, their aura can be penetrated, are those that have a weak aura, they're weak-willed and weak-minded. Because if you're not controlling your mind, the question is, who is? Because a lot of us think we run in the show. A lot of us think we run in the show. Is it Esperanza? How are you, my love? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, we stay in our prison by choice. We stay in our prison by choice. Ashe, infinite gratitude for the support. Follow Crush. Welcome in, my love. Ashe, you have to put in the work, and this is how you put in the work. If you want to evolve, shift. Broadening your perspective is incredibly important. So let's get back to it. Possession of the Archons, okay? Possession of the Archons. This unveils this ancient Gnostic concept of Archons. These are unseen forces and programs that infiltrate our mind, distort our perceptions, okay? And it siphons off our energy. Now, I did a master class several weeks back, energy harvesting, and what that means for all of us, not just you and me, what that means for all of us. So whether we view these archon spirits, okay, as actual entities, archetypes of control, this training will guide you. I'm going to guide you in the right direction to realize their influences, so you can lose the grip that they have on you, so you can take control of your mind, so you can get in your mind instead of remaining outside of your mind. Because whenever you are outside of your mind, guess what? Something or someone is inside of it. Ashe? Ashe? So welcome in. We are learning how to transmute and righteously manipulate energy to master, not in fear, but in power, and become immune to these unseen forces that keeps us looping in limitations, that keeps us operating from fear, lack, scarcity, distorted biases, distorted personalities. A lot of us have distorted personalities and we don't even understand what's going on. Why is this so important? Why is it so important that you understand controlling forces that have been influencing you knowingly or unknowingly ever since you got here on this planet? Because if you continue to remain deaf, dumb, blind, and docile, if you continue to remain ignorant to the things in which you should know, you are going to continually be controlled. Okay? That means your life is going to reflect the one who is controlling it, the entities who is controlling it. Have you ever asked yourself, why does it seem like people work so hard? I mean, they hustling, they working 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jobs, sometimes their entire life, and it still feel like they're making no progress. Centuries are passing. Not just days, not just months, centuries are passing. Years are passing, and yet a lot of us are no better than what we were the previous year. A lot of us are no better than who we were or what we was experiencing yesterday. Why is that? Simultaneously, we're speaking that we want to grow, we want to evolve, we want to elevate, we want more money, we want more beautiful experiences, we want to travel more without running from our lives, but just to experience a different experience and better life somewhere else. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? What is the difference between those who are living out there, absolute best life, those who are not struggling financially, those who are not struggling with confidence, those who are not struggling with self-esteem, those of us who have infinite opportunities presented to us all the time in abundance, from those who are still talking about what they want and not experiencing what they want. This well-renowned quote that we keep saying, this phrase that, oh, we're equal, we're all humanity and we equal. We are not equal, my love. Ain't nothing equal about us in the context of some have and some don't. Why do some have and some don't? Equal means that you are on parallel timelines, parallel consciousness. And if I'm up here and you're down here, that means we're not equal, baby. It also doesn't mean that you can't raise your level of consciousness and experience life and more abundantly. I say. So why do we think effort alone is enough for us to change? Why do we continually talk so much about what we want and nothing changes in the way that we want? Why do we think that effort alone is what's required? That's a question for us. Why do we think it's so easy for us to believe in a devil than it is for us to also realize that there are unseen forces working to keep us self-destructing, to keep us deaf, dumb, blind, and docile, so they can keep ciphering off our energy? Because I'll say it again, everything that is thriving, every life force requires energy to keep it running. We are electrical beings. We are soul beings. We are solar light. We are light beings. And so if other people, places, and things and entities are continually siphoning off your energy, what do you think that's happening to you? What do you think that's happening to you? When you starve a plant, what happens to it? Tammy Lynn, how are you, my love? When you starve a plant, what happens to it? It loses its vital essence. When you're not active and stagnant, let's get the image of someone that's bedridden. Put in the comment section, what are some of the things that can happen to a person that's bedridden, that doesn't move and doesn't get the proper care? What are some of the things that happens to that person? It can be mentally or it can be physically. What are some of those things? Yes, light beings first. We have to remember who we are if you planning on living the life that you want to live. And I always say, even though I'm aware that there are infinite simulations, there are infinite matrices, I'm also not oblivious to us living in whatever realm and dimension and simulation that we're living in. So if there is something that you want to experience that is materialized and tangible, right, then that's what you should experience. Okay, because I didn't reach this level of consciousness until I got out of my system that I wanted to drive a Benz. I wanted to drive the fancy cars. I wanted to be in mansions. I wanted to date a certain type of caliber of people. I wanted to be in certain groups. I didn't get that all out of my system until I experienced it. So I'm not against you wanting to be a thousandaire or a millionaire or whatever it is, and you want to drive the cars and you want to put it. I'm not opposed to that, because when you obtain that and experience it, you can elevate. Ashe, stagnant, right? Stagnant. Skin, Angela, yes, the skin breakdown. Their skin starts to break down. Why? Because they're not moving. We are energy beings. Energy must move. It cannot remain stagnant. Okay, so a lot of things happen to a person mentally and spiritually when they are left in the bed, when they are bedridden, right? Hi, Cougar Goddess. How are you, my love? Blissful rise to you. That's what I've been telling myself is I need me a billionaire. And you absolutely should have exactly what you want, whatever it is you want to desire. And for those of us who desire anything, it doesn't matter if you desire more peace. It doesn't matter if you desire more wealth. It doesn't matter if you desire more happiness or joy or bliss. You should aspire to achieve that. You should experience that. However, you don't get to experience that simply by thinking that's what you want, simply by speaking that's what you want, right? Madam, how are you, my love? Infinite gratitude for the support follow, right? You don't just get there. Meekness, that's beautiful, beautiful name, by the way. You don't just get there by just talking about it. You don't get there by not shifting your identity. You don't get there by not shifting your language. You don't get there by not shifting your frequency. You don't get there by talking, and not acting. Action. What do you think alignment means? The prefix to alignment is to be aligned. So a lot of us are aligned with toxicity. A lot of us are aligned with low self-esteem and low confidence. A lot of us are aligned with the wrong things. So why do you think there are some people who are living out their best experiences and those people who continually talk about it all day, every day? Don't you actually want to experience love and more abundantly, more romance? Peace, beautiful. Hi, madam. How are you, my love? Blissful Monday to you. Don't you want to experience what it's like to not look at price tags? Don't you want to experience what it's like to be able to give thousands of dollars to someone without saying, oh my God, let me check my bank first. Let me check my finances. Don't you want to know what it's like to feed people who are less fortunate? Don't you want to know what it's like to be able to hold conversations with people that have been to places like Thailand or Africa or Southeast? Don't you want to experience what it actually is like to experience and talk about how beautiful your relationships are? Don't you actually want to experience how it is to go shopping when you want to, whenever you want to, and not have to wait for the first or not have to save up for years and end? There are people who are living like this. What are you? Because I know we want some of the same things because I hear us talking about it, right? I hear us talking about it. So what do? We cope. We hide under coping mechanisms. Coping mechanisms that we're using as strategies to consciously or unconsciously handle the stress and pain or uncomfortable emotions that what a lot of us, listen, I say this with love and I say this with respect, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. A lot of us are in perpetual cycles of coping mechanisms, right? Consciously or unconsciously, in order for us to not experience the hurt, the pain, the stress, the discomfort, all because we are really weak, right? Some of us have cowardice behaviors. Some of us don't actually love ourselves as much as we say we love ourselves because we're hiding behind jokes. We're hiding behind foolish conversations. We're hiding behind the mask of performances. We're hiding, and deep down inside, you are being crushed. How do you think people get to deep states of depression? Infinite gratitude, Pure. How are you, my love? How do you think that people all of a sudden get to a point where they like, oh my goodness, I'm so overwhelmed, where they don't know where to go, what to do, what to say. They don't know whether they want to brush their teeth, get dressed first, just leave out the house. Some people are actually struggling just to rise and brush their teeth. I don't know about you, but I've been there before. I had so many beautiful things that was happening in my life, but because I was hiding behind these coping mechanisms, I was pretending and performing more than I was being genuine, more than I was accepting the fact that for whatever reason I was too weak. For whatever reason I was being a coward. For whatever reason I didn't want what I think I wanted, and I didn't love myself because I got to that point where I tried to commit suicide. I got to that point where things got to be so heavy and so dark that I wanted to give up. So I know how it is. I know what a lot of us are feeling. But you're hurting yourself if you keep ignoring it. All the jokes in the world ain't going to get you off that bridge. All the jokes in the world, all the pretending and the performances isn't going to save you. You must save yourself. If you don't like having your actions being labeled as cowardice, don't be a coward. If you don't like your actions and your behaviors labeled and your characteristics labeled as a liar, stop lying, especially to yourself. If you want to genuinely live and experience this abundance of self-full love, act like it. That requires you to shift. So we use these coping mechanisms. We use the SEX. We use the external DRUGS. We use the relationship. We use the friendship, all to cope with the fact that we don't want to face the truth when we look in the mirror. However, how are you going to move on if you haven't accepted where you are transparently? I had to accept that I was being promiscuous in order for me to understand that, you know what, Venus, you don't value your body as much as you think you do. You know what, Venus, every time you engage, every time you go run into a boy to self-soothe your insecurities or self-soothe your lack of worth, to self-soothe your lack of complacency, that's only hurting you. I had to stand myself in the mirror and look my soul in the depth of it and be honest with myself. I was lonely, I was broken, I was miserable, I was broke, and guess what? I could not ignore the fact that I was causing all of that shit on myself. Why? Because I love being the victim. I love being the victim. I love when people came and stroked my back or stroked my limited mindset. I love being irresponsible and not accountable. I love that. Come feel sorry for me. I love when people felt sorry for me because I was sexually and mentally abused for a lot of my younger years into my teenage years. I love that because it required me to do nothing but live in that victimship. However, what I didn't know is what it was costing me. Now, a lot of you think that those consequences in the day in which it's going to come and where you have to actually pay, some of us think that day is never going to come. Ashe, meekness, Ashe, infinite gratitude. So when I say Ashe, infinite gratitude, Steve, meekness, jazzy jazz, yes, Chef, we've been there. So when I tell you, when I survived that suicide attempt, I made 2 commitments to myself. I wasn't even in my body yet. I was having an out-of-body experience. I wasn't even in my body yet. Do you understand? While my physical avatar was lying on that bed in Afghanistan in the hole in the wall that we were living in, while my pulse was getting weaker and weaker and I felt everything and I'm seeing all of this, I I didn't realize who was seeing that, who was observing me lying on that bed. I seen myself. I seen all of the NCOs in the room. When I tell you, you are gods and goddesses, you are. You are the infinite source of creation, you are. Who was observing my body? Who? You are infinite consciousness. You are the observed and the observer. And I made 2 commitments that day. I said, if I survive this suicide attempt, I will never, ever, ever do that again. I am going to learn everything about why I got to that place where I felt like there was no hope. Ooh, Ashe. Where I felt like it was no hope. Where I felt like there was no life. Where I felt like there was nothing good going on. Mind you, I had 3 beautiful boys and they were young at the time. I had people in my life that loved me. I had a nice career. I didn't become an author at that time, but I accomplished a lot. I didn't see or think about none of that. And I made a commitment that day that I will learn everything about my consciousness, everything about my mind, everything about my behaviors, everything about my psychology, everything about my heart and my organs and my love. And that started my passion. And I said, when I learn everything I need to learn and I master it, I am going to, as long as I have breath, help other willing souls to get up out of their places of darkness. Now, you can keep lying to yourself if you want to. Loneliness is darkness. Disparity is darkness. Ashe? Lack, fear, scarcity is darkness. And for the latter part of 15 plus years, I've been teaching men and women how to master self and how to shift their identity so they can come out of it, so they can start being honest with themselves. After we don't want to use self-coping mechanisms no more. And you don't have to suffer to elevate or to evolve. You don't. That's a lie. You don't have to rely on external entities and external false gods in order for you to live a life that you want to live, that's full of happiness and joy and bliss and peace and clarity and confidence and prosperity. You don't have to suffer to do that, because I don't suffer anymore. I go through because I must experience, but the way I experience doesn't break me no more. And you don't have to allow it to break you anymore. So how do we avoid facing the root pains of admitting our hurt, our loneliness and brokenness, and feel that feel that it's safe? It doesn't have to be terrifying. To maintain a sense of control while life feels overwhelming. To learn how to shift your linguistics, because a lot of us are cursing ourselves all day, every day. A lot of us are doing spell work, yet we want to crucify witches. We want to crucify witches and warlocks. You are a witch and warlock. You are an alchemist. Let's stop it. This is why ignorance should not speak loudly, right? So instead of shifting to the truth of how we feel, regardless of how it makes you feel, so you can come to the awareness that something needs to change. We lie, we cheat, we steal, and we think skipping steps is the way. Our behaviors, those unhealthy behaviors, become self-sabotaging. Darkness that needs to be transcended. Ashe. This is for educational purposes only. Infinite gratitude, Chef, for doing your thing, because of infinite gratitude. I love that. Ashe. How you doing, Kimmy? How you doing, my love? Right? So what's the deeper reason as to why we're facing these pains and such discomfort and such disparity and disdain and suffering, even though it may not seem like you are, because we're so used to adorning our suffering? Because let me tell you something, baby, depression, I made depression look real good. I made fear and scarcity look real good because I was always able to adorn myself. Peace, Lori, how are you, my love? I was always able to fix myself up, put on a little makeup and a little rouge, okay? So disparity looked good. People didn't know. My unhappiness looked good. People didn't know, right? So we've learned to master all of the different masks that we wear, not knowing that one day you're going to get lost in it. And for a lot of you, you are lost behind a delusional mask that you've been running behind and hiding behind for years. And it's time out for that. Put in the comment section right now, time out for that. Take off the mask. Take them off. They are hurting you. I'm talking about the mask of low self-esteem, the mask of no confidence, the mask of unworthiness, the mask of unforgiveness, the mask of stupidity, the mask of ignorance, the mask of all of the labels you hide under, the mask of disparity and loneliness and fear. And take off the mask. That is not who you are, and you were never purposed to live behind those masks. As long as we have Adnamore. That's a pretty name. I hope I pronounced that right. Time out for that. Come on, put it in the comment section. Type it. Make it real. And then get back to tapping. Make it real. Time out. Time out for that. Enough. Take off the mask. Take off the masks. The masks. Not just one. Take them all off. Take them all off and look at yourself, feel yourself, embrace yourself, no matter how uncomfortable it is. Be honest with yourself. If you are a heavy-set person out of shape, you cannot keep lying to yourself, talking about, oh, I'm just big bone, or I'm just thick and snacking and all this shit. Stop lying, because you know goddamn well, if you can shrink yourself, if you can wear the clothes that you actually want to wear and shop at the places you actually want to shop in, you could if you stop lying to yourself. For those of you with false identities of confidence, if you started to be aware and accept the fact that, you know what, my confidence can be a little bit higher, you cannot improve what you have and accept it. Accept it. All of it. Accept it. You're welcome, my love. Accept it. I had to accept that I was being a promiscuous young lady. I mean, I'm saying it in a nicer word, but at the time, I was stripped naked. I was getting in the shower. Never forget. I've always had a lot of mirrors around me in my beautiful bathrooms. I'll never forget. I looked in the mirror. Come on now, this damn camera. I looked in the mirror and I said, you know what, Venus? You being a hoe right now, and you need to stop. You need to stop. You cannot keep hiding behind or self-coping or self-soothing behind sex. You have to stop. Just because you were raised, this is the conversation I was having with myself. Just because you was raised to be a 304, don't mean you have to be a 304. Don't mean that has to be your identity. Don't mean that has to be your life. Just because I was told and trained, I was taught and trained, like many of us young ladies, I did not want that life for me anymore. It took me to change it. My mother wasn't going to change it because she only taught me what she knew. She only showed me what she experienced. You can only teach and hand down that which you only know. That was her life, so she didn't think anything of it. But I had to make a decision that nobody is coming to save you, Venus. You got to save yourself. You got to make the decision every day that you want better for yourself. That your body is worth more than 5 minutes of pleasure. That your mind is worth more than a fucking toy. You got to know that, and that began my journey. I had to make those decisions every day. Was it easy? Absolutely not. But I wasn't worried about something being easy or not. I was worried about living. I wanted to live. I wanted to live with confidence. I wanted to live with pride. I wanted to hold my head up wherever I went. I didn't want to hold my head down every time I walk in any zip code and I done slept with fucking hundreds of men or whatever the case may be. I wanted to hold my head high. I wanted, when people say my name, Venus, they say, you know what? She is a respectable and honorable young lady and have integrity. I don't give a damn about what I did yesterday, but moving forward, yes, That's who Venus is. Honorable. That's who Venus is. Have integrity. That's who Venus is. Confident. And it's not the pretending. I didn't have to pretend anymore. I became that because I embodied it. But I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't shift my identity. So I want to teach y'all. It's not only the fact that whether you want what you want and not experience it, there are entities and forces that are controlling you and influencing your thoughts, your behaviors, and I want to speak to us about that because it matters. Why do we do the things that we no longer want to do, yet not do the things that we desire to do? Does it have a lot to do with your decisions? Absolutely. However, whether you like it or not or accept it or not, I'm here to tell you that you're not the only one making decisions for you, especially if you haven't shifted your identity, especially if you don't even know what an Archon is. So language, belief system, man-made religions, all of these things, the government systems, politics. How do we return to our original knowing? How? What does this all mean? Right? When someone is constantly numbing their pain with food, SEX, and all of these things, you need to wonder is it all you? Or is something else influencing these behaviors? And if it is, and if they are, why? Why is the big question, right? Even religion plays into fear-mongering and fear-based systems rather than sovereignty. It becomes a disguised program, right? Preaching obedience through guilt and punishment if you do not abide by their man-made laws, all to keep them ciphering off your energy. Why? Because everything in creation needs energy for creation to be created. And there are bigger plays here than just you. How do you control the masses? Put it in a book. How do you control the masses? Mix a whole bunch of lies with a little bit of truth. How do you control the masses? How do you keep people deaf, dumb, blind, and docile? You keep them believing the lie that they are a spirit instead of an infinite soul. Ashe? And a lot of us walking around here with symbolisms on our neck that's keeping us in a chokehold. A lot of us running around here with chains on our mentals like we done lost our ever-loving mind. And then we wonder why. Okay? For millennia, beings have been taught to see ourselves as spirits instead of souls. We've been taught and programmed to see ourselves as spirits, needing a savior, needing saving, rather than sovereign souls embodying the source of power and the ability to save yourself. Ashe, infinite gratitude. Hi, abstract mind. How are you, my love? This knowledge is important. We're talking about Archon spirits, the possession of Archon spirits. For those of you who do not quite know what we're speaking about right now, we're talking about the possession of Archon spirits. Right? The linguistics and doctrinal shifts wasn't accidental. Man-made religions wasn't accidental, my loves. Now, for those of you who may be triggered, it's with all due respect. Stick around. Be open to learning something and process it yourself. Okay, let's not remain ignorant. Let's stop rejecting information just because our ego is rejecting it. Let's not stop rejecting information just because we're unfamiliar with it. Try it. Process it. These doctrines also are patterns, right? These are what we were warned about. These archon possessions, these demonic possessions. of perception, of thoughts. So we're going to uncover a little bit about these man-made systems, how they subtly, but in an impactful way, invert your self-image, your self-concept, right? Your self-knowing, and how we can reclaim our divine, truest soul identity, not spirit identity. I had to learn the difference between a soul and a spirit at some point. You have to understand these things, not just talk about them, not just speak them. You have to understand it if you want to shift your identity. If you want to create more money, if you want more love, if you want your relationship, you have to start understanding these things, why they were created, to expose these forces, whether they can be seen or unseen. They are archetypes of control, just like government. Mint means mind. We're not even taking the time to learn etymology. We're just going with the flow because somebody gave you something. Just because somebody hands you something or tell you to eat something, don't mean you have to eat it. And a lot of us are constantly just absorbing and taking poison, right? Like we don't even care about our lives. Like we cannot make decisions for ourselves. Just because it was offered to you don't mean that you have to take it. Listen here, robot. I'm here. Hello. This thing is a little bit. Hey, I'm here. This thing is moving where it wants to move. Pardon me. Infinite gratitude for the support, Fado. Sadiqa, how are you, my love? Right? We want to expose these things. We cannot continually say deaf and dumb and blind about it. Okay? I see the interest. If you without, before we get into it, before we move on, let me just briefly let some of you who are new to me know who I am, because it's important for you to know what you're consuming and what we're exchanging in energies. My name is Venus Scott. I'm a self-mastery mentor and educator, and I've been teaching men and women how to shift their identity and master themselves for 15 plus years. I'm a veteran. I'm a self-published author of 4 books current today, working about to publish my 5th book. Okay, I'm a mother. I'm a former victim of so many things, and survivor, and all of these different things. Okay, I am. When I tell you mastery is my lane, mastery is my lane, and I mentor on small group levels, and I also do personal mentorship. So for the person who was checking out the Service Plus button, if you feel like you connected to me and you want more personal help and guidance, how to shift your energy, how to shift your identity, please feel free to contact me. Okay. So back to Archon spirits. Okay. Why is it so important for us to understand what these external influencers are doing? Okay. These external powers that are keeping us in perpetual cycles of fear, scarcity, and lack. Right? Because until we begin reversing these programs and systems that put us into these situations and stuck in these simulations, keeping us mentally, soulfully, physically, financially enslaved, things are not going to change. And in order for things to change, you need to understand that the first thing you need to do is shift your identity, because your current identity, like many of our current identities, is built upon these systems. So your whole identity is rooted in lack and disbelief and distorted biases, not knowing who you truly are. Your current belief systems, a lot of us, are faulty. Our current identity is built upon all of these things that have nothing to do with your sovereignty, have nothing to do with empowering you, but disempowering you. When are we gonna wake up? It's time to wake up, my loves. It's time to unplug. It's time to tap in. It's time to do the work. Unbothered, how are you, my love? Sunflower, how are you, my love? So some of y'all may be asking, what are Archon spirits? What are Archon spirits? Okay, you need to know this. So we believe, so some of us believe in a devil, some of us believe in other spirits, some of us have the concepts that we have regarding spirits that I'm here to educate you on. Daria, how are you, my love? Allie, how are you? Infinite gratitude for the support follow. An Archon spirit is, first of all, a term that comes from ancient spiritual esoteric teachings. Esoteric just means cosmic teachings, mystic teachings, right? Not surface level, not external teachings, not man-made teachings. That's what it means by esoteric and exoteric. One is within and one is external, right? So, and it was Gnostic text, right? And over the time, it has taken ranges of different meanings depending on who's teaching it, depending on who's educating people on it. Okay, it depends on what you're talking about. So, in the next coming slides, I'm gonna break these things down to you so you can realize and remember the core reason why I'm teaching about archon spirits is so you can recognize that you're under their influence, so you can break free from it. Okay, there ain't no logical, sensible, cosmic reasons for you to be broke for years and years, for you to be in poverty for years and years, for you to be suffering for years and years on end. There's no sensible cosmic explanation for you to be under this delusion, for you to be under such pressure, depression. All of those things are unnatural, but it's not just because of things that you're doing. It's things that over time that has been also influencing what you're doing, especially when it keeps you in a perpetual cycle of dysfunction and destruction. So down the years, a lot of these teaching has been what? Hidden from us. Okay? So I'm going to break a lot of these things down and give you some deeper understanding so you can make the choice that you need to make so you can grow. Because if you are in your right mind, you will not choose to continually suffer the way you do. You will not choose to continually be broke, bruised, and broken. You will not continually choose to be lonely 10, 20 years talking about when she come or when he come. No. What are you doing about the coming of that person? What are you doing? Do you really think it takes years for you to meet someone special in your life? Do you really think it takes years for you to not rob Peter to pay Paul? Do you really think it takes years for you to live in a perpetual state of confidence? Do you really think it takes years for you for abundance of opportunities to come your way? Do you really? It does not. So why are we keep giving excuses and power to, won't he do it? It's God's will. No, it's your will. Your will be done. Because your will has been done. I say no more. Not no more, Allie. I say. So when I talk about Archon spirits, I teach you about all things that has been influencing not only your identity, your core essence, and has been tricking you out of your sovereignty, has been tricking you out of your authority and your inheritance and your power. Archon literally means ruler or lord, just like government means govern the mind. And these rulers and lords have been governing your minds, our minds, since they have been genetically modified and placed and genetically modified on this planet. Because all of us aren't souls. All of us aren't alike. Even though we're on different levels, all of us aren't pure in righteousness. All of us aren't organic to this planet. Just like they have GMO fruits and vegetables, they have GMO humans. Another thing I would encourage y'all, you are not a human. You are a being, you are a soul, you are light, you are cosmic energy and cosmic consciousness. You are not a human. Look up most of the times you can't look up on Google ain't gonna tell you everything. Human means sea creature, sea monster. This is how they keep tricking you. This is how they keep tricking you into wearing their symbolisms that keep you in bondage and entrapped. This is how they trick you and trick your linguistics into keeping you enslaved and entrapped. So our language is the master's language that's keeping us in bondage, because you still walking around talking about, humanity and we are human beings. No, we are not. We are not the same. We are not the same at all. No, ma'am, no, sir, and no, hell no. No, thank you. We're not the same. Archon spirit, just like other spirits, especially if they are unrighteous, demonic spirits, these are the rulers and lords of impurity, unrighteousness, destruction, distortion, and deception. And many of us are willingly come deceive me, I'll speak your language, Master, I'll speak your language, Lord. All because you don't want to take 15 minutes out of your day to read books that is going to help you, not just read anything, all because you think that saving $100 and not or $200 or $300 and not investing it in a mentor who have mastered certain simulations that you're trying to master, for whatever reason, you keep tricking yourself out of your inheritance. You don't remember what you don't remember. That's by design. These writings, these archons, they were also described as cosmic rulers, gatekeepers of the material world, of the matrices and simulations. This is another reason why I tell all of you, stop wasting your time with politics. Do you really think that the system of politics, the simulation of politics, do you really think you have any say-so or control over it? Come on, let's wake up. Let's start tapping in. You don't run nothing. You don't run nothing. Those spirits who are occupying those seats and doing their master's bidding, they don't run shit. Your voice, your damn vote don't mean shit. It don't. Respectfully, it don't. But that's because we don't want to see no evil, hear no evil, taste, touch no evil. Wake up. All of those systems and these gatekeepers are purposed to do one thing: deceive you, help you self-destruct by ciphering off your energy, because every time you talk about it, every time you get yourself in a frenzy, you lower your frequency, which makes it easy for them to cipher it, which makes you easy to control. Meanwhile, these gatekeepers, you cannot see. You never heard of them, but there are workings beyond what you can physically imagine. Step out of your physical self for 15 minutes. There are things that are working, that are going on, that you cannot physically see with your eyes, physically touch with your hands. They're not necessarily human either. All GMO people aren't spirits. They are also often portrayed as physical beings. Okay? This is just a vessel. This is a vessel, which means it can be inhabited. This vessel embodies consciousness. This vessel embodies energy. This vessel embodies also spirits. This vessel is exactly what it is, a vessel, a container. Why do you think that you're excluded from being possessed? Now, I'm not talking about spookism or paranormal. I'm talking about the truth. Just like you can literally take this vessel as a cup and pour something into it. How many of you think you're only pouring into yourself? But if you got your damn cup open for everybody and everything, just because it looked pretty, just because it sounds good, and you like, here, pour me some poison, pour me some toxicity, pour me some whatever they got, and it's continually harming you, close your cup. Close your vessel. Stop being so desperate. Tap into yourself. Stop giving your power away to entities that are only ciphering it off. Why do you think they made the figure of Jesus look pretty? Why do you think they made him pale? I don't give a damn for those of us who are talking about black Jesus. Stop it. It is the same damn entity. We have to stop acting like we're so clueless. You are an infinite being. You're cosmic. Why do you think they want you so bad? Why do you think they're coming after you? Why do you think you're the target? You're always the damn target. And a lot of y'all willingly put a goddamn bullseye on your heart and on your mind saying, here I am, come tag me. Here I am, come use me. But yet in the same breath, you still talking about, I'm a queen, I'm a king, I'm a god, I'm a goddess. Of what? Of what? Of who? Right, love. These entities, these Archon spirits, their job is to trap souls. Soul traps are real. I said it before and I'll say it again. Soul traps are real. Y'all have to start waking up. My goodness. Y'all have to. Their whole job is to keep you trapped. They know you won't just automatically agree to signing a contract like that if they say, hey, you know what? I come to you and I just want to know if I can destroy your life. I want to know if I can wreak havoc in your life. I want to know if I can steal and manipulate you and your children. I want to know if I can use you as pawns. They're not going to come to you like that. They're not going to come to you and say, you know what? I don't want to be the liar. I want to lie to you, but you allow me to lie to you. I need your energy so I can maintain my entity, so I can live, so I can go on and continue destroying souls and trapping souls. You think they're going to come to you and tell you that? No, they're going to make it pretty. They're going to make it sound good. They're going to put it in harmonious demonic music. Why? Because so many of us are led by the goddamn feel good. You want to feel good so much. You just all in the goddamn days. Oh my goodness. Praise him, praise her, praise them. You're giving your energy willingly. Ashe, they do all the time in Hollywood. What do you think all these symbols means? These Archon spirits are their only purpose is to trap you. This is why a lot of us aren't growing. A lot of us aren't elevating. And it seems like all them deja vus that's happening, you like, oh, I've been here before. Because you have. Because you keep making the same damn mistakes you made in the last life cycle. Wake up. Remember. You keep repeating the same damn thing. And you wonder why. Why do you think strongholds is called strongholds? How many of you, put in the comment section, how many of you will willingly stronghold you? How many of you will willingly hold you back if you can experience happiness? If you can experience joy? How many of you would hold yourself back from the love that you want to experience? How many of you will hold yourself back? If the man or woman that you know beyond the shadow of doubt was for you, that you would reject them and hold yourself back from giving in, from opening yourself to receive. How many of you would say, no, I don't want the money. I don't want the prosperity. How many of you will hold yourself back? Come on, tell the truth. Put it in the comments. Come on, tell the truth. That's where it starts. Tell the truth. Would you hold your back? Would you hold yourself back from having more confidence? They feed mostly on the negative emotion too. I say, child. Yes, remember, probably would not. I don't know anybody in their right mind that say, no, thank you. I don't want more confidence. No, thank you. I want more money. I'd rather keep struggling. No, I don't want to think more positive. I'd rather keep being bitter, broken, miserable. No, I don't want to change my perspective. No, I don't want anything that's good. I don't want to not suffer. I'm so used to suffering, I'm going to keep suffering. Yes. Right, Jazz. You would not. However, you need to know that you're not the only one that's keeping you held back and bound. There are inner working, esoteric workings that is happening. They're energetic parasites. Energetic parasites. That they keep start cycling and cycling and cycling. Modern spiritual cycles and so much. So, oh, I'm so spiritual. I'm so this. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. Okay. So you on the right track. You on the right track. Now it's time to elevate. Now it's time to take it a step further and a step above. You're not a spirit either. You're not spiritual either. Your consciousness, your light, your cosmic, your soul, not spirit. Souls and spirits are different. They're not the same. Just like organic and GMOs are different, even though they look the same. Peep that. Just because something looks the same don't mean it is the same. They're not. They're not. They're parasites. They feed off of and cipher your energy. They cause confusion. They feed off of your fear and your scarcity and low vibration. I know many of you understand what rituals are, what sacrificial rituals are. These entities are they're doing some of the most horrific, unrighteous things imaginable. And it's all in the Bible. Many of you love so damn much without deciphering the cosmic code that is in it. Why would you willingly choose and follow a damn deity or entity that has literally did so much heinous things, and you about right past that damn scripture. You about right, you are hot right over the damn scripture. Foolish. I would never ever in my life follow or serve anybody that wicked. I don't give a goddamn if they're a spook or a person. Whether they condoned it or did it. You will never catch me following or befriending a damn pedophile. Never, ever, ever. I don't give a damn. You will never ever find me condoning, praising, worshiping, Never, ever, ever. And you want to know how these entities and Archon spirits are so bold now? Did y'all see? There's a recent interview. It was a recent video floating around. Okay, these were Israelites. Okay, speaking about how they need to bring back human sacrifice, that there are too many people on this earth, that God told them that they need to bring back human sacrifices. But these are the gods and entities and Archon spirits we serving. Kimmy, did you see it? They bold enough, they telling you. And some of us so silly, we'll go right back on our knees talking about save them, Jesus. Won't he do it? When that's the goddamn entity that's doing all of it. Mind manipulators of perception, influencing your thoughts, your beliefs, everything righteous about you. Everything righteous about you. Why? Because they're not righteous. This is why there are some spirits and some organic humans that are running around on this earth that don't even care about the animals. They don't care about plant life. They don't care about nature. They don't give a damn about the flowers, the sun, the rain, the earth. Why? Because they're unnatural to the fucking planet. It's not in their makeup to care about souls. It's not in their makeup to care about life. It's not in their makeup to protect babies and the innocent. It's not in their fucking makeup. But these are the same entities some of us are allowing to influence us, and then we're following them. They can't relate because they're not human. I mean, they are human. They're not souls. They're not. Hey, Breezy, how are you, my love? So, of course, they're not going to care about life. Of course, they're going to just haphazardly or just easily say, oh, we're going to begin human sacrifices. What? Baby, if y'all don't wake up, if some of y'all don't wake up, they're mind manipulators, non-physical. They're non-physical. They're non-physical esoteric, meaning you cannot see them. But if you're in tune with the frequencies, you would feel them. You would know. This is why a lot of you walk in the room and you can sometimes, if there's an eeriness in the room, you can feel it. They never stop. Facts, Kimmy. You can feel when you're around some dark entity or energy. You can feel it. But a lot of us became lovers of our destructors. A lot of us became lovers of these Archon spirits. The tricks. You right, Chef? You can smell it too. I smelled plenty of spirits that were around me. A lot of them were pleasant though. A lot of them smelled like I got that. A lot of them smelled like flowers or roses or these beautiful beautiful aromas. And then some just was like, But if you're constantly always giving your power to external sources, if you're constantly not doing the work, yes, sulfur and metal smells too, I say. So when we as we continue talking about these Archon spirits, ideally, it can also be used as a metaphor for programs. Many of y'all, pardon me, many of y'all seen the Matrix. Y'all know what it is. Many of y'all seen the Terminator. Many of y'all seen the movie Inception. Many of y'all seen The Wiz. Not the Caucasian version. I'm talking about the Kemetic version with Dorothy and Michael Jackson and them. Many of y'all, Diana, pardon me, many of y'all, what do you think they're saying? They're telling you the truth. They're putting it in plain sight. And we feel like, won't he do it? Yes, he would. Won't he do it? I guess he would still do it for some of y'all. Okay? These are programs, limited beliefs, the traumas, the suffering, the patterns that continue to rule our mind and keep us looping, okay, in these dysfunctional cycles. So we live life cycle after life cycle after life cycle, because guess what? The matrix machine needed what? Energy. How did they get their energy? By ciphering off souls. Because we are electrical beings. We are light. Light is energy. Everything is light. Everything is frequency. This is why they still live. This is why they still thrive. This is why they still able to exist. This is why they still able to deceive. Because a lot of you are willingly feeding them, and then you offer up your family members and your children, talking about let's go to church, let's pray, Jesus this, and you constantly disconnecting your heart from your mind. What do you think this means? Come on now, people. Let's start to wake up a little bit. Y'all just be doing shit just to do it, and you never question it. Start questioning things. Yes, I did see that. It was real good. I've seen some of the second season, but I did see the first season. That was a really good movie that told a lot of truth in it. It's a worship program. How do these Archon spirits infiltrate? How did they infiltrate religion and language? Let me ask you a question. Well, I really don't want to officially ask you this question because I would hope that a lot of you are pure souls. But hypothetically speaking, when you're at war, if you are a war general, you have to put yourself in the shoes of the other war general, the art of war. You have to know your enemy left, right, side. You have to know everything about them if you want to, defeat them, right? So if you were this wicked entity, what would you do to trick the people? What will you do to continually trick the people into willingly giving you their energy? What would you do? Come on, we gotta stop being naive. We have to stop being naive and start thinking. You just because you are soul, just because you are pure, don't mean you are weak. We are also warriors, my loves. Understand that. Ain't no way. If I need to bake a cake, I'm gonna bake a cake. But if I need to chop, I'm gonna chop. You understand what I'm saying? It ain't no a person is coming at me to chop me, and I'm like, hey, can you want a hug? Let's talk this out. I ain't talking shit. Not in the language you think I will talk to you when your head rolling in the other direction. Then we can have a conversation. I'll conversate with your soul before you enter whatever afterlife you thought you constructed while you was here. Know who you need to be when you need to be him or her. Always turn the left cheek and forgive your enemies. What? I wish I would. Let me take that back. I won't. Ashe? Infinite gratitude. I won't. Segment all day. I will chop you in so many damn pieces. You will think it's a fucking infinite puzzle you'll never put together. Facts. How did these archon spirits infiltrate? These rulers of power, they built the matrices, they built the simulations of deception to keep souls ignorant of your own origin. You're not a child of nobody's God. You are the gods and the goddesses. You are the infinite source of life. You are interconnected with the infinite intelligence and consciousness. What do you mean? Over the time, the influences showed up in many different ways. They infiltrated the linguistic systems, the language. Yeah, you need to know. You need to know what energies are around you. Okay? When these archons started infiltrating, especially religion, you got to know that any wicked entity will keep pressing on your pain points. They know so many of us are attached to this physical realm so much. Infinite gratitude, Kimmy. They know many of us are attached to this physical realm so much that we can't see, sense, hear, taste, touch, understand anything beyond the matrices or the physical aspects. So they keep pressing on, make me rich. I want to be rich. I want the fame. I want the glory. So they keep pressing on it. They know that you seek external love so much. So guess what? They keep needing it and needing it and needing it. They know that you want validation so much because you don't remember who you are. So they keep needing it and pressing it. They know that you seek this power driven. They know you want all of that. They know we have become so emotionally destitute. They know that we lack so many things. They keep pressing on it, and they keep giving you these subliminal messages and images of what life could be if only you would just allow them to cipher off your energy. What is it costing you? What is it costing you? Validation or approval. Ashe, right? They convince us of separation. Ashe, and that we need to beg them or align. So we get on our knees and we saying, baby, please, baby, please, Jesus, please, if you just take away this pain. Jesus, if you just give me more money. Jesus, if you just pay my rent this month, I promise I won't be financially irresponsible. Jesus, if you just send me the man or send me that woman, I promise I won't be an asshole no more. I promise I won't take advantage of them no more. Jesus, if you just send me this opportunity or just send me this job. What? instead of remembering who you are. You want the job of your dreams? Materialize it. You want the man or woman of your dreams? Materialize it. How do you materialize it? Become it. Become her, become it. Become sovereign. Become mastery. Embody truth. Embody integrity. Embody life. Embody your position, inherited position, authority. Act like you're empowered. Don't just pretend like you Thanos. Know that you are a Thanos. You can literally, figuratively snap your fingers and you can manipulate energy because you are the alchemist. But because you have been allowing other people, places, and things and entities to alchemize your own fucking frequency, you just all like, oh my goodness, I have nothing left. Because you don't want to be responsible and accountable for your life. So you keep blaming it on this fucking devil that never existed. You keep blaming it on God, saying, well, if God wanted me to have money, I'll have it. If God wanted me to love, I'll love. If God wanted me to have pleasures, I'll have pleasures. If God wanted me with this job, I'll have it. It's all in God's time. It's all in blah, 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 fucking excuses. Excuses and justifications, rhymes and reasons as to why you're not God yourself. Why you don't remember who you are. Reasons, justifications, and excuses as to why you're not doing what you need to do. But you'd rather sit your ass on TikTok, social media, Twitch, Instagram, playing fucking games all day, laughing and joking all day while your life is in shambles. While your life is in shambles. You'd rather keep running your fucking mouth instead of doing something that's going to elevate you. You would spend 8 fucking hours on social media, but you won't spend 15 minutes reading a book. You spend hours and hours playing around, going out in clubs and entertaining certain people, places, and things, but you won't spend 15 minutes sitting your ass down and meditating properly. Where do you think you're going from there? About you want a relationship. No, you don't. You want more money. No, you don't. Every dollar you get, you looking for who you can give it to or spend it on. You want more opportunities. No, you don't. You're not even responsible over what you possess now. Instead of your insecurities, your low self-esteem, and your lack thereof. Come on, let's be real with ourselves. I talk to myself like this. So yeah, I'm talking like this. Because we need to get real with ourselves. Enough of the fucking sugar. We want the sugar. We want the truth, doubt and sugar. Oh, well, you know. Well, if you just change this and if you just, read a book, if you just, maybe if you start loving yourself a little bit more, maybe if you just told him or her that, you wanted things a little bit different, that they needed to stop abusing you and, doing, maybe think, no, I say. Trouble, they come from Zelo. Zelu or Zelu. I get all my frames from Zelu. It's okay. I love that. Infinite gratitude. Ascension overall. We chasing everything else but ascension. Don't you know when you ascend your consciousness, everything that you want is just naturally going to align with you? So even though I can teach about money, I don't focus on that because too many of y'all focusing on money, focusing on companionship and love and all of this. Meanwhile, you're descending. That's not going to get you closer to reaching your goal. Shifting your identity should be your main priority. If you want what you want bad enough, you will invest in a mentor, a qualified mentor that can help you get to where you want to go. You tried doing it yourself, and you ain't no further than you was yesterday. As a matter of fact, you fucking a whole kilometer, but that's right, see? Everything you want comes after you shift your identity. You shift where you're aligned and you get into alignment with those things. It's not going to flow to you. Money is energy. Love is energy. And if divine love and righteousness and money don't feel safe with you, guess what? It's not flowing to to you. And a lot of you don't even know how unsafe you are because you've been lying to yourself for so long about you want pure love. Baby, you wouldn't even know pure love if you could spell it. Because it's impossible. Hear me. It is literally impossible for you not to materialize what you are. Your experiences outside of the Archon spirits and influence. Let's step away from the Archon spirits for a second. You don't experience based upon what you want. You experience based upon who you are. So if you're not experiencing beautiful relationships, romantic relationships, platonic relationships, friendships, that means that there is something unaligned in you with your frequency. Universal laws cannot contradict itself. Consciousness cannot contradict itself. Galactic laws and principles cannot contradict itself. It doesn't matter who you think you know or what you know or who you believe in or not. It doesn't matter whether you accept it or not. It doesn't matter who or what you follow. We are all governed by the same principles. When are we going to realize that? So if your life is not mimicking the life that you keep talking about, there's something unaligned with you. There are mental fractures that you still have. There are mental fractures in your heart that you still have. And until you correct them, until you shift them, you're going to keep experiencing more poverty, more brokenness, more loneliness, more distortion, more biases, more heartache, more pain. Infinite gratitude. I honor you too. Lamarck 28, infinite gratitude. Ashe. So I teach shift. I teach beautiful souls how to begin shifting their consciousness, shifting their identity, and that enables them to shift their money, to shift their love life, to shift their confidence. Otherwise, you're going to keep repeating the same simulation over and over and over again. And here's the truth. No simulation stays entirely the same. Because according to the law of energy resonance, everything moves. Everything must move. So even though there may be similarities, nothing stays the same. Yes, Ashe. Right? So when these institutional religions and all of this bullshit became dominant, the original teachings that we are soul and not spirit was hidden. That we are souls that embody the divine light, the divine spark, star seeds. It was replaced by a narrative of being fallen spirits, fallen angels who need salvation, who need external validation. These systems that tell us that we are sinners. We were born into sin. And the shift from soul to spirit, it may sound small and insignificant, but it fundamentally programmed our identity. It told us that we're broken and we're not whole. It told us that we need redemption from something. As if our makeup isn't cosmic, as if we were a mistake, as if the way we were created was a mistake. As if our genetics was a mistake, as if you were a mistake. That salvation comes through external authority rather than inner awakening, inner remembrance. So our languages became spells and doctrine became programs built upon deception. So when we repeat these spells, it keeps us dormant. It keeps us dormant. and we don't even question them. We consciously feed into all of these programs and codes. This is one of the Archon spirit's primary tools, turning sacred truth into a subtle cage. And many of us willingly be like, can you open the door to my cage? I want to go back in. Because remembering who I truly am, that's too painful. I want to go back to enslavement. Doing the work, that's too much. I want to go back in the cage, master. I wanna tie me up again, please. Okay. From a young age, I knew in my spirit the whole system of Abrahamic law. Yes, okay, me too. Something was wrong with it. Right? It's important to know this. Recognizing this is not about rejecting, recognizing things that you're supposed to recognize when it comes to entities of deception and dysfunction and destruction is not so much about rejecting, right? It's more about being aware of these programs, because if you're not aware, you can be controlled. If you're not aware, you can be controlled. So when we start reclaiming our original language, not language meaning dialect like what we're verbally speaking now, I'm talking about the language that we are divine frequency, the language that says I am soul, I am one, I am frequency, right? I am light, I am the Christos, not the Christ. I am Christos, because Christ means Christos. It means oil, sacred oil. It has nothing to do with a fucking person. The Christos is in me. The light is in me because I am the light. I am soul. I am soul. I am not human. I am not spirit. I am soul. I am soul. Put it in the comments. I am soul. Relearn your mental, reprogram your mental. I am soul. You're not a spirit. You're not a damn human. I say Allie. I say Jazz. I am soul. I am light. I am Christos. Ashe, withdraw from the dysfunction, break free from the mental programs. And you know what another realization is? No one is forcing you to stay enslaved. It's not like they have their hold isn't infinite, it's finite. It's just like an unaware horse. They're just unaware of how powerful and strong it is, being tied up to a fucking twig and staying there for days on end, not knowing that it can uproot a fucking tree. Well, a little tree, but it has the power to uproot a tree. If it just realizes and remembers who it is. You are a light stallion. You are a cosmic stallion. You can break free from any twig, because that's what they are. These entities, these Archon spirits, these dysfunctional and destructive people, places, and things, they are fucking twigs. They can be broken or blown if you just remember who you are. Remembering who you are, though, requires you to link with someone who has remembered who they were, who have elevated, who have learned to master the matrices, master the simulations. It's not about destroying the simulations or getting rid of the matrix. It's about mastering them. Why? Because you're still here. And as long as you're still here, you might as well master them, because they're not going nowhere. However, souls get to choose whether they stay entrapped in them or whether they master them. And then it's the difference between people who are living their absolute best life and people who are still miserable. Okay. I say love, infinite gratitude. Lamar, infinite gratitude. Queen, how are you, my love? How are you, hon? You keep yourself trapped by accepting it. I say you keep yourself trapped by just keep going with the flow. And then you're around a whole bunch of other foolish people who don't know who they are. So all of y'all just sitting in a circle, having the most foolish conversations. How can you elevate if the same 5, 10 people that are around you are also ignorant to who they are? Also keep playing deaf, dumb, blind, and docile. Where do you think you're growing? Everybody in your life, some of y'all got people in your life that are anchors that want to keep you. Say, girl, don't you unplug that. Don't you unplug that. Don't you dare remember who you are. Don't you dare shine your light. Don't you dare take authority back. Don't you dare think for yourself. Don't you dare go that way when everybody else is going that way. Don't you dare raise and rise. Don't you dare not humble yourself. Boy, you tripping. Ninja, you tripping. Who you think you are? I know who I know I'm not. I know who I know I'm not. And I don't hang with people. I don't allow any human or any soul or spirit around my vortex who don't have the capacity to want to elevate and do better. You know why? Because people who are attached to you are cancers. I don't need you attached to me. I don't need you growing on me. We need to grow together. Because as long as you are growing on me, we can't go nowhere. The weight is going to get too heavy. And I'm about to carry my damn soul. How about you learn to carry yours? And somebody say, oh, I don't like her for that. I don't need you to like me. I don't need you to like me. Let's be clear. I don't need you to like me. I don't need you to accept me. I don't need your validation because I remember who I am. I know one of my purposes, and one of my purposes is not to like certain people that want to stay deaf, dumb, blind, docile, enslaved, and entrapped. I don't need your friendship. I don't need your life. I don't need your companionship. I'm not damn sure don't need your validation. I don't. And I'm good on that. I don't want to sit here on your live and have stupid ass conversations about what you think about 50-50. Who do you think supposed to be the leader? I don't want to sit on your fucking panel talking about what the president is doing, what he's not doing, or what the left side, upside, down side, right side, pink side, blue side, yellow side. I don't give a damn. I don't want to sit and have conversations about stupidity. Stupid people do stupid shit. I don't want to sit on the panel or have conversations with you, especially in person, talking about, do you think the man is supposed to lead or the woman? Infinite gratitude for the heartbeat. I don't want to sit on your panel while you're talking about, well, who is native to the earth and who is not. I don't want to sit on your panel talking about, y'all say y'all want us to do better, but why y'all don't accept better? I don't want to sit and have stupid fucking conversations. I won't, and I won't. And you shouldn't either. Y'all having stupid conversations. Let's call it what it is. They fucking stupid. And they're not helping you. Meanwhile, you're not elevating and growing anywhere. You sitting up here telling all your fucking business, all your personal story, and then you're going to tell somebody they mind their business when they call you out. You're the one telling it all. You the one telling every goddamn thing. You telling you on camera while you brushing your teeth, washing your ass, singing, dancing, talking. Ain't nothing personal or sacred anymore. And I don't care if you don't like me or don't want to be around me, because I don't, guess what? Newsflash, I don't like you or want to be around people like you either. I don't. And once you start building your confidence and stop being a people pleaser and put your elevation and ascension first, you'll stop being foolish too. There are beautiful people in the world. There are more friends that will love you and nurture you and grow with you. People are not in shortage. Good people are not in shortage. Damn them if they want to stay stuck in the past. Let them mofos go. About you want to elevate. How? How, Sway? How, Sarah? Too busy lying to ourselves. And we lying to each other. Too nicey, too damn naive. We sitting here pacifying. That's one of the reasons I don't join other panels, because I'm not about to sit up here if I'm invited and not tell you the truth. The truth is, sis, you need help. The truth is, bro, you need some help. Because why are you sitting on this live talking foolishness? Why? Why are you talking like that? I'm that friend that really loves you. I'm that auntie that really loves you. I'm that sister or mother and soul that really loves you, because I'm not going to stroke your stupidity. I'm not going to condone it. And if you want to bow face forward march, then take your ass on. I'm that friend that's going to tell you the truth. You out here looking real crazy, laughing and kiki while you looking 10 types of fucking crazy. Yet you talking about you want a loving relationship. What if your potential partner was looking at you right now while me and y'all on live carrying on acting foolish? It's all foolish. What if your potential partner was following you? I know I'll be like, hey, hey, talking crazy, looking crazy, acting crazy, but you want to be serious. You want something serious. All the conversations are built upon what happened to you. I can write books on many of people's stories. And I don't even know them personally. But because they keep repeating the same traumatic stories and all y'all sitting up there trauma bonded. What is that doing to you? How is your life improving? Y'all need a truth pill. Some of y'all need somebody to tell y'all the damn truth. Get your ass off a lie. Close it. Get your ass off a lie. Shut your mouth. Get into some books. Start meditating. You don't even take yourself seriously. Damn shame. Damn shame. We talking crazy, or not even realizing that these are demonic forces that are influencing our thoughts. How many of y'all ever said, damn, I don't even know why I said that, or I don't even know why I did that? I know. Parasites. There are certain spirits and entities that are parasites, and we all know what parasites do. They come for one thing: to drain your life force. They feed off of you. Parasites can only attach themselves to souls, not spirits, not humans. Parasites need souls because we are the divine spark. We are the divine energy. This is why zombies don't fuck with zombies. You will never see a zombie. Any fucking movie you ever seen, apocalyptic movie, where you see another zombie eating another zombie brain, they don't eat the zombies. They don't fuck with other zombies. Y'all cool. Zombies are cool. They want the pure souls. They want the souls that is doing what they can to shift their energy. They want the souls that are pure. They want the souls that are light bearers. They want the souls that are divine. They don't give a damn. This is why ain't nobody stunting some of y'all. Because they can look at you, they can smell you, they can see you from a mile away, and you another fucking zombie. You just a part of the goddamn zombie because y'all talk the same, walk the same, look the same, act the same, dress the same. Everything about you is zombie. Of course they ain't stunting you. The devil ain't after you. You're one of the imps. What the devil want? Well, what the devil want with you? You already doing his bidding. You already in his camp. You already part of the devil tribe, the devil society. You already there. Ain't nobody stunting you. What devil is after you? Ain't nobody after you, because you ain't even after you. Ain't no demonic entity or parasite after any impure soul. So stop it. But many of y'all too busy trying to be like them same damn zombies. Every fucking new trend come out, let me jump on it. And most of them have very low vibrational spells. And y'all just because what is cute is cute and it's dangerous. Why do you want to be like everybody else? People who want to be like everybody else don't have an identity of their own. Because if you had your own identity, I'm talking about your own pure identity, why would you want to be like everybody else? Why would you want to do what everybody else do? Why would you want to be a copycat? That's a throwback word, right? You copycat. Why do you want to be a copycat? Why do you want to, why not be the original? Why not be unique? Not authentic, yes. Facts. No individuality. No. Why? Ask yourself that question. That's for you to ask. I've always desired to do something different. Always. I don't want the same clothes that 100,000 people are wearing. And if I do, if I liked it that much, baby, I'm going to alter it. Because I want Venus essence on everything Venus. I don't want nobody else essence on what I'm doing. So it's okay to be inspired by it. It's okay to use and tweak. But damn, at least put your little razzle-dazzle on it. Everything is the same. Everything is the same. Nothing is different. And you wonder why you in that category where, oh, you don't stand out. Ashe? Is that the truth? Why aren't we much higher than 53 likes, my loves? Come on, I need this to happen. What are we doing? What are we doing, loves? Right? It's called exchange. It's called exchange. I'm exchanging something of value. Right? You get what you give. Okay? So when there's opportunities for you to give a little, give a little. It makes all the difference in the world. Okay? If you wanted to control souls, where would you hide your influence? These are how these ancient entities work their magic. And most of the time it's hidden in plain sight. How the shift from soul to spirit, the language change being's essence. How these words and rituals and doctrines known as program codes for the mind. All is mind. You are mental. I say, one who controls the mind controls the actions. So no longer do the slave master have to whip souls into submission. They shifted their approach. They found out some of our sacred practices. They found out because they've studied us more than we've studied ourselves. This is why they can use ourselves against us. This is why they use our consciousness against us. This is why they use our energy against us. Because a lot of you don't know the first thing about quantum physics, quantum mechanics, quantum entanglement. A lot of us don't know about genetics, chemistry. I'm not talking about the surface level shit they taught us in school. I'm talking about the inner depth and cause of psychology, of the mind, of quantum physics, entanglement, mechanics, soulality, not spirituality, soulality. They study universal principles and laws, the law of causation, the law of resonance, the law of energy, the law of cause and effect, the law of rhythm, the law of gender. They studied us to a T. So they've been manipulating us with our own essence. And some of us are dumb enough to fall for it. When you don't have to be. And don't tell me I can use another choice word. Dumb is dumb, stupid is stupid, smart is smart, intelligent is intelligent. It don't goddamn matter how you take it. It is what it is. Remove your damn emotional ignorance of the equation. It means what it means. However, you don't have to be dumb. You don't have to be stupid. You don't have to be a coward. You don't have to be a liar. You don't have to be enslaved. Okay? How do we begin recognizing and breaking these codes? Right? So I taught y'all about Archon spirits. How do we begin breaking it? Right? By connecting with a mentor, someone that have already studied different various things that they can now teach you to help you elevate your consciousness, shift your consciousness, shift your knowing and remembering of self, of soul, remembering who you are. Because if you can do it on your own, you would have a long time ago. Okay? So, real quick, for those of you who, especially who are new to me, every few months or a few times a year, I host live master trainings. And next month sometime, I am hosting a Shifting Your Identity live training. It has tons and tons of value. I'm not going to go into everything. However, if you're interested in that live training, and I'm mentioning it, one, because there are limited seats. My trainings are very private. They're very exclusive. So if you have felt a connection, okay, if you remember that you are here by divine purpose, not by coincidence or happenstance, I want to make sure I offer you the opportunity to come learn what you need to learn so you can shift your consciousness, shift your identity, shift your money, shift your love, shift your opportunities and prosperity. Because until you understand the things that you need to understand, which I'm going to be breaking down in a total of 9 modules, walking with you, teaching you, and giving you applicable day-to-day exercises that you can do, because I cannot be with you all day, every day. However, I can give you the proven skills of a lot of things that I talk about, okay? You get a lot of value. So I want to make sure I offer you the opportunity. Click the link in my bio and register, because there are limited seats, or you can fill out the Service Plus button and request more information, and I'll send you the direct link so you can register. We're going to be starting sometime in October. I don't have the correct date. It depends on how many registries that we have. Okay? I want you to win. I want you to remember. I don't want, but just because I want something for you don't mean that you are ready and willing. I'm only talking to, at this point, I only want those who are willing. I don't focus on souls that are unwilling. Okay? My focus is on helping pure souls who are ready and willing to elevate, who are ready and willing to do what is required to shift their identity so they can shift their life. I'm not interested in those who talk and they ain't got no power behind their words. Just talking and not walking. I'm only interested in the pure souls, men and women, who have said, you know what? Enough is enough. There are things that I need to know. There are things that I need to know the how in order for me to reach my goal. I didn't arrive where I am by myself. I currently still have mentors. So when it comes to you shifting your identity and shifting your life, understand that all masters of anything have and had masters. You don't get to the level of mastery if you don't have someone that can guide you. Because if reading books was all that was required, if studying was all that was required, if doing the bare minimum was all that was required, a lot of us will be a further ahead than which we are. So it's one thing to learn a thing, it's another thing to be trained in a thing, because it's in the training in which you learn to embody. Okay? There are differences between a lot of things. I say, Allie, if you're one who take action and you're willing to elevate, I have exactly, you will be a perfect soul. You will be a perfect soul. And when you register, all of the registries get lifetime access for the duration that it's running to my personal quantum shift society. It is a small sacred community of souls, which you get me a little bit more. You have more access to me. You can DM me through the app. There's tons of resources, and we teach twice. We meet twice a month, so you get continual guidance. Okay, because I guarantee you, when you start your journey, you're going to need guidance, because there's things that is going to start shifting, and it is in the shift. It's one thing to decide to shift, but there's another thing once you're in the shift. This is where 90% of people give up, because they do not understand what happens in the shift. So what's happening in the shift is supposed to happen. However, if you're not aware of the process, the phases and levels, you're going to give up, because your ego is going to rise, because it thinks that your body is in fight or flight mode. It thinks that you're in danger. So it's automatically going to tell you, you know what, this ain't safe for us. Your nervous system is going to scan this thing that is beneficial and helpful to you, and it's going to tell you, it's going to misread it and say, this is not good for us. So then this is where 90% of people revert back to their past. The path of brokenness, the life where they live in misery and sadness and loneliness and hopelessness and all the other things. And I don't want that for you all. Okay? Hold on one second. Infinite gratitude over there for my YouTube family and my Facebook family. Infinite gratitude. Join me Wednesday and Mondays, 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. I'm thinking about changing the Eastern Standard Time. Our time is up on here. I will see all of you very, very soon. Infinite gratitude for engaging in the live.